All right. Is this actually live? Are we live or is this a fake start? I'll find out in just a moment. Let me get my microphone sorted here. Guess we'll find out in just a moment, won't we? Usually these fake starts about 50% of the time, and I never know until I get 30 seconds in or I see somebody if that's what it's doing. Let's see. All right, I think we are live. I've been sitting here, nobody in here for the first 30 seconds, looking all goofy. All right, so apparently we are live. Let me go ahead and give you guys a forearm shot. Got all those veins. Catheter tube running up my arm. There's 12 of you watching and only one like. Give me some likes. All right. What sort of nonsense going on in the fitness community still? We've got everything from Cali Muscle doing crypto scams, taking people's money. Doucette still selling Turkestone. And, I had someone come in my comments and say, I just want to back up what you said. But yeah, it's a scam. I spent a bunch of money on it. Saw no gains, no progress. And you were right. And it's kind of like you shouldn't need to try something like Turkestone. If you guys did basic research, you would know it's a scam. You would know it's a scam. Like you shouldn't be taking the word of somebody like Doucette, like an influencer, who is selling junk like that. Go do your research. And if people do their research ahead of time, they will know that Turkestone is a scam. Every expert says it's a scam. Every doctor says it's a scam. Every coach with an advanced degree in any field related to health or fitness says it's a scam. Everybody knows it's a scam. Yet idiots still fall for it because Doucette gets up and tells you to buy it. Same thing. People fell for Cali Muscle with a crypto scam. In what world would anybody trust their money for business to Cali Muscle, who has literally done prison time? Like, is this someone that you really think is involved in honest business, that you want to invest money in his crypto? Again, how are people this? I don't understand how these scams even exist. How do they even pull this off? I don't get it. I do not understand how these people successfully scam people like this. Again, Cali Muscle brags about having done prison time. It's not like it's a big secret. He brags about it, made videos on it for a decade. Like, why would you do that? Why would you then invest money in his crypto scam and then get ripped off? The Turkestone, exactly, which doctor. But if people went and researched it before they drop $100 out of their pocket on it, they would already know. They would already know. All right, let's get to some of these questions. And why do we have 4 people commenting and only 2 likes? And why aren't you people following me on the Facebook page? You guys do know I do way more stuff on Facebook than I do on YouTube, and I get more traffic. My videos there get actually more views, in case y'all were not aware. I'm doing this out of fan service still, these daily lives. All right. So let's get over to these points. Lacey's in here, got her eyebrow raised. Okay. I don't even know what it is. You don't even need to know. Lacey, if you don't know what Turkestone is, it's not worth the time, trust me. Grunge says placebo. What placebo? Doesn't work. Unbelievable persistent. What's your take on Andrew Huberman fitness and supplement protocols? You think he's legit? He seems to plug Tonkat Ali and blah, blah, blah. I'll start to a lot. Again, perfect example, someone who has great credentials, but every expert notes he sure jumps on a lot of known scams and promotes them as if they're real. Right? It seems like almost every single thing that comes out to be a scam, meta-analysis say doesn't work, that guy seems to support it. There comes a point where you go, maybe he has a PhD in finding scams and selling them to you because he already knows enough about the human body to know they're scams, and therefore he just plugs everything that he already laughs and knows is a scam because he's being a dick. That's a possibility. because he's a smart, educated guy. And it doesn't take much research to realize all these things are BS, like the cold baths and all stuff that he had promoted, right? So it seems like he is almost a litmus test to know that there's a meta-analysis coming to say something is junk. If he supports it, we know there's going to be a meta-analysis saying it doesn't work. It's like you can almost predict it. That's what my take on Huberman. I think he's trolling you people intentionally. Right? He's clearly trolling you intentionally. Like he's probably having fun with it because he actually is an intelligent guy. But it sure seems like everything he promotes ends up being a scam. It's almost too perfect to where you go, he's doing it on purpose to clown you people. He probably think it's funny. It's a joke to him. All right. Grunstruck, the brain says the brain is a power tool is possible for a slight change. Yeah, but this doesn't mean these things work. And here's the problem. In spite of that placebo, how many people did try them? You're right, it was a scam. And placebos are tested for in the lab. Like they don't just not examine and look for placebo effect. Entire studies are built around the idea of, can we try to account for placebo? Can we eliminate placebo? Can we eliminate placebo on the measurement side? That's where double-blind studies go in, right? That's where double-blind studies come into. Okay. Bob says, Coach, where did you learn to interpret research? You literally only need to take some basic science courses at a university, bro, to understand the basics of understanding how to read research, and then go read research. Not that difficult. You have to do a lot of reading, though, to dig through this stuff. Unbelievably persistent. Yeah, I was curious, tried some of them supplements for 3 months and didn't do jack. Blood work proved it also. Yep. Grunstruck, the name makes it sound like testosterone. Yeah, that's clearly the idea of what they are doing. I'll give you guys that pain while I give you some water. Yeah. Catheter veins inserted under my skin. Those aren't even real veins. They're clearly fake. I have obviously put catheter tubes or something inside my arms because there's no way I'm lean enough for that, right? Because I'm a fat dude. So fake veins, fraud. All right. Raymond says, opinion on calisthenics for strength, muscle, especially for those with back injuries. You can no longer, if you can't lift heavy, then how could you do calisthenics? So let me ask you a question. You have a back injury and you have to do dips because you can't bench press? That doesn't make any sense. Yep. Right? Yep. Resistance is resistance, and there's nothing special about calisthenics. Look, I like a lot of bodyweight exercises, but in no world can you not lift at all and do calisthenics. That doesn't even make sense. Okay. So you got a back injury, you can't squat and deadlift. Okay. Maybe not. Have you tried rehabbing it? I mean, Louis Simmons deadlifted 725 pounds with a broke back. I mean, people do rehab these things. It does happen. So again, not logically consistent here in what you're saying. So I'm just saying, think it through. Similar to the GO2 Max, if I don't even know what that one is, it sounds like a supplement scam. The name alone, the fact that they put numbers in the word Max, that is already a red flag. Is that some sort of scam without even ever having heard of it? PD12Q Max. Well, that's a scam. You don't even need to know what's in it, right? We're good. Bob says, do people claim you have fake veins? They do, man. Fake veins. Fake veins Blaha over here, lying about having veins because he lies about everything, including being bald, including having a beard, including wearing glasses. That's all fake. It's all a lie. I'm not even really on a computer right now. All right. I'm even drinking water because we're in the Matrix. All right, Ivanka says, you have a huge rib cage. Yeah, I kind of do. Benjamin Christensen says, I apologize for getting your name wrong. Benjamin Christensen. There you go. I'm going to pronounce your name correctly. I'm so glad to have someone promoting a level-headed diet, fitness, the carnivore cult community. Dude, the Carniraptor cult is something else. Wow. And I mean, look, if they could just stick with the idea that, look, some people do better on a little lower carbs. Okay. All right. Certain metabolic health. Okay. Hey, protein's good. Okay. If they could stick there, it wouldn't be so bad. Right? But they just have to go so extreme and so hard and so crazy. Butter is a health food. Vegetables are poison. And Jesus Christ, guys. Sorry, God, I don't mean to use your name in vain, but there's a time and a place. Ivanka says, you see Sumi shouted you out. No, she didn't even tell me she shouted me out. I just said hello to her the other day. Okay. Matt, one of my members, says, Coach, the legend in bodybuilding community is that Ronnie Coleman was natural when he won his pro card in the early 90s. Do you think that could even be remotely? I'm going to say no, but then again, it is Ronnie Coleman. The guy was a legitimate freak of nature. I mean, granted, he used tons of gear. Freak of nature while using tons of gear. All natural. I would normally laugh and say there's no way it's possible. But given the things, even his attitude towards it, I remember him, because he admitted using gear, I remember saying, well, to me, they just kind of brought out what was already there. I remember in an interview, he's like, well, I was already squatting and deadlifting 700 pounds when I did my first cycle. And as crazy as that sounds, I actually believe that's possible. Now, they were probably knee wraps and all that stuff. They weren't raw, probably. But he was probably telling the truth. Right? Who knows? Well, I assume he shouted me out and didn't say something. I'm going to say something later. You're like, why didn't you mention that you shouted me out? Someone told me that you did. All right, a dose of American hatred. You said you're going for a Bill Pearl, Frank Zane / Reg Park type physique. Ultimately, since they obviously weren't clean, is at the hint that you ride the bike. Bro, I'm natural as fuck right now. Look at all that. Look at that natural right there. American, look at that. Look how natural that is. Natural. Natural is the water we're drinking. All right. Natural. Scotty, you're in here now. What's up, Scotty? Tell him that those are all natural veins and striations in my forearm. That's that brown rice and broccoli hitting hard. All right. What's other one? Curious about your views on mobility fitness YouTubers like Knees Over Toes Guy, Movement by David, Low Back Ability. Man, I could take a illegal. Grunge Truck says it would be cool to see the government actually build a TU. No, I don't think the government needs to weaponize any sort of robots ever. Right? Ever. No, the government shouldn't do anything ever, let alone incorporate AI into titanium cyber chassis killing machines. No, let's not see that. All right. Scotty over here says, Davenport Barbell. Says, I think Ronnie turned pro natural. He was 250 pounds, 2004, and he was 295. I mean, Scotty, and I know people say it's crazy, and I'm the first person to call stuff like that out. But the guy, like you said, he put on 80 pounds of muscle after turning. I mean, I'm just saying. Jeez. He was such a genetic freak. It might actually be possible. And I know it sounds insane, but it might actually be true. Ivanka says Sumi is a badass. Yeah, dude, Sumi is. She's a badass, dude. Maybe RoboCop would be easier to build than the Terminator. I don't know, man. Do we really need our government building cybernetic organisms with weapons? Yeah, I'm going to skip on that one. Scotty, thank you for Scotty says that's 100% natty veins, right? Scotty, I appreciate your ongoing support as my friend on that, right? Those are 100% not prima bolus veins. And I'm offended that someone would even imply such. All right. Hey, coach, how often should I incline bench if increasing it is my main goal? Once a week. Once a week is fine. Omi says, is the Meniere's disease still a factor limiting your mobility work and exercise? Remember, yeah, my Meniere's, I don't want to do box jumps. Like people bring up the box. Why don't you box jump? Do you not believe them? No, I think box jumps are great. I have a vestibular disorder. And I've hurt myself. You guys have seen me get injured doing weighted box jumps. Remember the picture of my shin? I pretty much scalped it. All right. Sorry, I just burped. I've been eating a lot today. I'm going to put up all my meal pictures on Facebook. You guys, if you guys always ask me what I eat, man, I put up all my food there. You guys can see half my meals, my grocery shopping. It's all there. All right. Benjamin says, by the way, I've heard about your advice for protein overfeeding to lose weight, 100 grams protein shake after intermittent fasting. Do you see any concerns for long-term colon health if this is done? No, absolutely not a colon health issue, and here's why. Are you consuming sufficient fiber? Okay. Are you consuming sufficient prebiotic and probiotic foods? Okay. Why would protein shakes themselves create a gut health issue or problems with your colon? Like protein shakes are not linked to colon cancer and stuff like certain things are. Talking about protein shakes. No, I don't think it's an issue. And we come over to, is your gut health on point? Again, are we eating a balanced diet? Is it rich in fiber? Is it rich in diverse fiber types? Rich in diverse prebiotic foods, right? Things that your gut biome are going to eat and grow from. Okay? I wouldn't worry about it. Simon says, how to avoid loose skin? It doesn't matter how fast. No, I mean, that's not just lose slower so that you don't. No, because they're hoping it'll tighten up at the speed you lose it. But that, like, why would you, even if it's tightened up at the same speed, why would you lose weight slower to avoid it? Just lose the weight. If it's in theory going to tighten up in 27.23 months, why would you just lose slower to make sure it keeps pace? Why don't you just lose the weight? But so that's a nonsense. Doesn't even make sense when you really think about the idea, right? Realistically, loose skin is going to happen. If it's going to happen, you're going to have to diet it down, eat a better diet, maybe rub certain creams on it and just work with it. Okay? All right. Scotty says, Mark, I've had to make my videos private, temporary, and possible becoming a correction. Okay, cool. Yeah, Scotty, I can absolutely see that concern, dude. Hey, Dose, I'm not going to use that word in here, but I do remember when he was killed. I'm a Pantera fan, obviously. So I absolutely remember when that happened, and that sucked. Again, it shows you how crazy people are. Like, why would someone just want to get rid of a musician, right? Oh, I'm a crazy fan. He makes music. So, imagine just the level of how mentally ill that is, and how that shows how mentally ill people are out there who get obsessed over public figures, right? Yeah. America says, Floyd Dimebag was the reason I picked up a guitar. I absolutely love his style and his music. It made me really sad. His message that he was because of a crazy fan. Matt says, do you weigh your food? I eyeball it. Lacey says, can you explain how the band push downs are good for strengthening elbow tendons and joint health versus doing high rep cable push downs or extensions with dumbbells? Because of the overspeed eccentric of the bands creates micro tears through the tendon that then speed up and have at least some potential for hypertrophy through the micro tear. Right? Hey, Jesse, I tell you what I'll do. You donate $100 right now, I'll go grab my tape and I'll measure my bicep right here. But you're not going to do it. So you can quit posting. If you keep spamming, I'm just going to ban you. You're not actually going to donate it. So since you continue to spam one more time, I'm going to ban you. You donate the money and I'll go grab my tape and come back. No, I don't need to prove it. You're not going to, you don't even have $100. You're one of my haters. You guys are all on Section 8. I've doxed you guys already. All right. You don't have $100. All right. Bob must be scared being in the public eye like that with all those weirdos running around. No, Bob. I'm sorry, Bob. I apologize. It is terrifying. I was in immediate fear of my life or bodily injury. Okay, now that we've got that out of the way, I don't want to never want to say I'm not scared. Can't be like, I ain't never scared. I ain't never scared. What? You know, we can't do that, right? We're not bone crusher. You need to always be ready to be convincing that you were afraid for your life when you talk to the police. All right. A dose. No, I mean, yeah, pretty much just like that. Right? It's just what it is. But yeah, I mean, you've seen it. It's not C3PO. Under load, it definitely gets weird. All right, Simon, when do you think about trace mineral drops? 72. I don't think about them at all. Yeah. So Jesse, you clearly don't have it. So bye-bye. You were given your chance to donate. You didn't have it. You're out. Bye. Simon, why would you even think about trace mineral drops? Oh, Benjamin, it's important to them. When I'm your God, I am literally the reason those people get up every day. So, of course he cares. He's a weirdo. He's a weird, crazy stalker too. Doe says, did you ever bring back the form shape videos where you publicly critique subscriber submitted list? Not really. I'm not interested in doing that right now. Coach, have you ever thought about writing a book? I've started multiple books over the years that I never finished. Most of them were novels, but yes. Coach, whatever. Get to the next question. Bob, I know this is a dumb question, but if you can't lock out your elbows, how can you lock out a bench? We've covered this many, many times. What is the official rules in competition? You show it to the judges, right? They verify that it's true. They check it. And then every time you go to compete, you have to point to any joint you can't lock. So if it's your arms, you make eye contact with the head judge, you tap both elbows. That judge then watches your unrack, and he looks to see if when you lock out, if your re-rack is the same joint angle. And if it is, he will pass it. If it's not, he will fail it. That's how you do it. Like you're acting like this isn't already thought of and accounted for, and it's not a really, 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 really common issue in powerlifting. And it's not just elbows, other joints, and it's discussed at the rules meetings. When you go do a powerlifting meet for the major feds, when you do the rules meeting, they will explain all of this to you as part of the meeting before the meeting. Okay, it is actually discussed with you when they gather all the lifters around to give them the rules so that they understand the rules. Crappy Gamer says, Jason, you're looking like a phlebotomist dream, right? Natural veins. Coach, have you ever had to stand up to bullies? Of course. Simon says, trace minimals. Why don't you just eat a balanced diet? Problem solved. All right. Surely one day, though, you will measure them for your followers, blah, blah, blah. Pink, I just really don't care. And it's not like my arms are that big. The numbers that I give people are always smaller than they think I am. Right? So people say, I bet your arms are big. I'm like, no, they're smaller than that. So it's not like I'm over here bragging about some crazy size. My arms literally are smaller than what people estimate. The fans do. So, I mean, it's because people lied about their arms for so long and do fake measurements. What if your elbow joint? Omi, I don't even understand where you're going. No one's watching your deadlift elbow joint in a powerlifting meet. And you better be locked out on the deadlift as far as you can. Coach, do you plan on Peppermint? Here's been the rule forever. I will never discuss official plans going into powerlifting meets. So to answer your question, I'm just not going to tell people. If I powerlift again, you're going to get no warning. If I step on a powerlifting meet platform in 27 months from now, I'm not going to say anything going into it. You just be like, damn, Blaha did a meet out of nowhere. Nobody knew. Right. Floyd says, that's fair enough, Jason. It was shut there. Floyd, you are clearly new to the internet, which can't be true because you've been posting in here at least a week. So you've been on the internet at least a week, right? So you've at least reached an age to where parents gave you the first smartphone. You're allowed to get on the internet unsupervised. Okay. And you think that it is possible to shut people up. Like you think this is even something that can be done. You think that that is actually a thing, that it is possible to shut people or shut haters up. So I'm seeing a conflict. You've never been on the internet before. You must have just got your first smartphone last week. So you turned 12 or whatever. Mom and dad gave you the phone and said, have at it. Because no one who's ever been on the internet longer than a week could possibly think in any delusional world that it is possible ever to shut haters up. It is impossible. You could literally show your bank account that you have $1 billion and a 13-inch dick. And your haters would still talk shit. They're like, $1 billion ain't shit. 13-inch dick is tiny. It's like pinky. Plus, look at that guy's left ear. Oh, he's really too, they'll find something. People talk about shutting. It's possible to shut a hater. Shut up, haters. Jesus Christ. You clearly are new to the internet. You have never been on this place before. All right. Koku says advice for fear of getting smaller or weaker when cutting. Currently, I have been bulking for a year. I'm 225 with 10 and a bench 315 for reps. Can deadlift about 500. Body fat rate. No, man, cut slow. Cut on down. What do you think about Dr. Berg? He is a scam artist. All right. Prinny says, I understand not caring about how big your arms are, but aren't you also trying to grow your arms? Yes, Prinny. Why did you use the word try? Have my arms clearly, visibly gotten bigger? That would be like saying, hey, Jason, aren't you trying to put your glasses on when you get on the live? Aren't you trying to take a sip of water? You know what I'm saying, bro? Hey, Lacey, I don't think steaks are by default unhealthy. I think saturated fat is a quantitative unhealthy thing, okay? Right? The subcategory and type, now stearic acid is an unhealthy type, and that is what is generally found in steak. It's not by default unhealthy. It's a quantitative issue in that case. Like there's a level of unhealth that scales potentially with intake that can be offset by other factors, but it's not by default unhealthy. Now, butter is fucking unhealthy. It's junk food. Steak is not by default unhealthy. All right, it's the butter that you and I argued about. So let's not confuse them. And I'll die on that butter hill. All right. Sat nav, your biceps are very good right now. Triceps are slightly weaker, which is again why my triceps, I'm training them twice a week now instead of once. Omi says, yeah, you measure your biceps. I did. So it's kind of like, why do people want me to keep measuring them over and over and over and over so they can jerk off to it? If you guys are going to jerk off to me measure my biceps, I need like donations for that, like $1,000. All right. If you need new fat material, I need to get paid for y'all's fat material. All right. Bob, does every YouTuber go through? No, but it's, not to the extent, but to some extent, yes. Literally, even people you would think of who are not controversial or I've talked to, they do deal with some crazy stuff, like to the point where they do carry a piece. Matt says, is it possible for strength-wise for maximalists for a natural lifter after lifting 7 to 10 years of good? What? Or strength? Oh, what is possible? Yeah, the strength standards are usually pretty good. Any recommendations for local barbecue near Houston? The problem is Houston is never local, Lacey. I'm going to go out on a limb and say you've not been to Houston based on that statement. Houston isn't local. Houston is so ridiculously big that you got to be very, very specific. Like I might tell you, hey, this is a good barbecue place over here, and it's literally an hour and a half away from where you're going to be. Like Houston is one of those places you can be in Houston and drive for an hour straight in one direction and still be in Houston. Simon says, how much did you weigh in those old weaponsmithing videos? My weight varied a lot. Do those. Is butter okay in small amounts? Bob, I wouldn't really consume butter at all other than as part of a cheat meal. Like it's not something I would consume even in moderation every day. I wouldn't, if we're gonna be honest. I mean, why would you? Why would you just add junk to your diet for no reason? Brandy says it's hard to tell if you aren't, but they are getting bigger. Have you not seen my strength go up? Has my isolation work for a lot of my arm movements gone up? Therefore, you know objectively they have probably gotten bigger. That it's not just the illusion as I'm losing fat. All right, Jason, this is Wish Doctors. Jason, is it somewhat of a trend now for people to use whippy barbells when lifting? Seeing a lot of it, yes, so they can lift more weight. Phil Hogan, is the saturated fat in egg yolks it's trace though. Phil, we come back over to quantitative. Now, keeping in mind, there are things in egg yolks that are somewhat cardioprotective that boost HDL. So keep that in mind. There are elements to egg yolks that are cardioprotective. And the saturated fat in an egg is not super high. So we come back over to balancing the scale. So by default, no, in theory, small amounts of eggs may be inversely correlated with cardiac risk. But sure, if you eat enough of them, particularly combined with the wrong foods, absolutely. Zion Coolman, for a novice lifter, would push-ups help increase bench press? For a novice lifter, no, bench press will help increase bench press way more than push-ups will help. Cujo, I thought Vegan Gains was only strong on the bench press. It was my understanding he's weak on all the lower body lifts. What did I miss? Did I miss something? And I'm not being a hater. I completely missed whatever we're talking about. Really, so the whole my haters, well, Pink, it's not the haters, it's other channels, right? It's other channels, it's people in the industry. We're not talking about low-level haters, right? We're talking about stalkers and trolls. You can't shut those people up. Do I see Vitruvian Physique with 500,000 followers trash talking my physique? No. But what is that? You can't measure my arm isn't going to do that because they care about physique, not an arm measurement. All right. Because people who care about that actually don't care what your arms measure. Have you not seen that written about in bodybuilding books for 25, 30 years? Or do they not write about this stuff anymore? Maybe they don't, so people don't know. How many times have you seen writers back in the day point out, this guy over here, his arms look better than this guy. He had 16-inch arms and the other guy had 18 and a half. But on the bodybuilding stage, they looked the same size because the other guy looked better because he had better shape, better definition, all this stuff. So they pointed out that is not, your measurements may not actually tell you a lot about the actual aesthetics or balance. So again, we kind of come to that point. Is the measurement that meaningful? At least as a diameter. I don't know that it's what we need to be focusing on. Focus on quality muscle building solid, dense, hard muscle, trying to build your proportions up. There you go. Hey, Jason, Dr. Mike Israel said 531 is mediocre hypertrophy. Well, because he doesn't sell it. If he sold it, it would be the greatest thing ever. But obviously, the greatest method for hypertrophy to Dr. Mike is whatever he sells on his Renaissance periodization app. That is the pinnacle, and everything else is below it. Because that's what he sells. He's running a business. Jason, what do you think about big burly bodybuilders who can't deadlift 315? I've never heard of this before in my entire life. I think you just made that up. I have never seen a big burly bodybuilder who couldn't deadlift 500 that I recall in my entire life. So replace your 315 with 500. Who are these people? I don't know who they are. So I don't know where you're finding the 315 ones when I can't find the 500s. And I've been doing this 25 years. The same arm with a vein looks far bigger. Sat, exactly. Yep. Get them veins. Bob says, I remember in the past. No, I don't think they're bigger than that. How many times have you seen bodybuilders in iconic poses? Not that often, to be fair. Tyrone, any plans to do a small bulk after this cut? I missed the size you got. No, probably not. I'm probably not going to go heavy. I want to be lighter than I am now and stay there. I can gain lean gains from where I'm at. It's not a problem. I don't need the bulk. I don't even need to put on 5 pounds. I don't need to do any of that. Okay? There's no need. I'm at a high enough body weight. I don't have to do any of that. Bulking is for guys who are, even small bulks are for guys who weigh 170. Right? Okay. Jim Miller says, hi, Jason. Looking good. Thank you, bro. Peppermint Coach, my friend, uncle, his brother, sister's cousin's uncle, said, my friend, uncle said the gym lists don't translate to real world. Why are you listening to that jackass? Who cares? Who cares what some random baby mama's, uncle's, daddy's, cousin's boyfriend said? He sounds like a fucking dumbass. So why would you listen to somebody like that? Telling me a guy who deadlifts 600-700 pounds in the gym isn't strong outside the gym? What a jackass. I want you to think about that. That guy has to go through life being that stupid. Again, let me reiterate. If someone sees a guy who deadlifts 600 or 700 pounds on a barbell in the gym and thinks that doesn't translate into real world strength, that person literally has to go through life being that fucking stupid. State that again. That person has to go through life being that stupid. Wow. You should feel bad for him. You should literally pity that person as a human being. But my question becomes, why are you listening to him? When you know the guy is that stupid, why are you listening to him? Okay. Come back over. Pink Floyd says, that's me at 5'10". Well, said, yeah, you might want to do a little slow, just a little lean bulk. Doesn't need to be a serious bulk. Jim Miller says, sounds like a massive coat for me. Yeah, the guy's probably just a big fat dude. Well, them gym lifts don't mean nothing. I do 12-ounce curls. I got a keg, not a six-pack. I'm doing them 12-ounce curls, bro. Play some Skinner, man. Yeah. All right. Jorge Lopez says, what's your thoughts on sandbag carries? I carry the girl you wrote carry. And sandbag workouts in general. I think they're good GPP. Do you still think the squats aren't the best exercise for quads? Yeah, I think squats are good for quads. I think for some people, they're not the best depending upon your structure, femur lengths, femur to torso ratios. They're still a good exercise, but are there things that could technically grow your quads better? For some people, absolutely. What other successful bodybuilders do your style of programming? Michael Hearn. Okay. Ball torture mafia, your name, dude. Your name cracks me up. Checking some stuff. Ever think about critiquing celebrity or athlete training footage for you? Maybe, I guess I could. Marcino says, what's better, a 350 overhead press or a 600 deadlift? What's more impressive or difficult to achieve? Because you're asking what's better. Well, considering the deadlift is just a better, awesome lift, right? I'm going to go with the deadlift. But are you asking me which is technically more difficult to obtain? I'm going to say a 300 overhead press is harder to achieve. All right. If someone is a strong lifter, will they be a strong puncher? Punching is a skill. So what are we talking about here? All right, Bob, so let's flip that back around, because you're going to talk about a specific skill and you were trying to translate strength to it. Okay. So let's say you take a person, let's say you take IP Man, right? You guys have seen those movies, guy who invented the whole Wing Chun. Okay, so if that guy with his punching ability, that he has, his skill, if he weighed 150 pounds and he could bench press 185, versus if you were to magically have his body have the ability to take his weight up, his weight and strength are correlated, you take him up to 220 with a 500 bench press. Do you think he will punch harder with more force? The answer is clearly and obviously yes. And it will be by an enormous margin difference. I challenge you to argue with my logic there. Hey, Prinny, you critiquing me in my own channel is unchristian-like. Get your goofball ass out of here. Are you going to collab with Sumi? She's fire. Maybe eventually at some point. We've never got around to doing it. No, she's cool though. Who's the most famous name in your phone contacts? Jason Blaha. Have you ever got angry with a client who's arguing against your advice, thinking they know better? Of course, you still wake up. I wake up all the time. Are you a fan of heavy farmers walks? I almost said carries again because you wrote carry last time. Yeah, I think they're good. I think they're a good form of GPP. Just Coach says, Coach, is the Paul Revere, the fitness channels, making us aware of other channels and their shenanigans? They try and put on us their financial gains. Thanks for keeping it real with us, Coach. You're welcome, Justin. Jason, did you hear about Big Lenny's passing? I totally didn't make a whole live about that the day after it happened already. Eddie, you got to search through the lives, man. I covered this the day of. Like, why are you waiting that long to ask the question? Tyrone, are you still doing box squats? Well, considering you see my footage every week. Have you seen me do a box squat lately? No, I won't be pretentious with my answer. No, I haven't been box squatting, bro. I think box squats have their place, especially for athletes, I think powerlifters too. Hypertrophy, I don't feel that I need them right now. Limitless. I'm going to be nice because you're a regular and you know the rule. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to delete your comment that you know is a bannable offense. That you personally know that asking about picking up girls is automatic. No warning. I'm feeling really nice today. I'm going to give you guys the entire answer you need to know to meet girls for the rest of your life one time, and we're never discussing it again in this feed. Don't be a fucking pussy and talk to girls. That's it. TED Talk is over. We can shut down the entire pickup artist community. We can shut down every website, every book about how to pick up girls and get laid. I gave you the keys to the kingdom in one line for all of eternity. You should give me $1 million for that. I just gave you the $1 million answer. That is everything you need to know for the rest of your life to have sex with 20 women. Stop being a fucking pussy and talk to girls. That's it. I gave you the keys to the kingdom. There we go. My TED Talk is over. All right. GG, great advice. Benjamin Christian, the keys to the kingdom. I gave you the keys to the kingdom, the keys to the promised land. All right. CP says, is there any chance of you reaching out to Joe Rogan to appear on his podcast? Right? No. No desire. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that could be fun, I guess. I don't know what he's going to want me on to talk about. I mean, the last time he mentioned me, he called me a bodybuilding expert when I was a strength guy. It's all good. But it's true now. Look, maybe Joe Rogan's a prophet. Coach, why is the squat the hardest lift of the barbell? Because it is hard. Dude, squats are hard. Well, let's just call it like it is. Man, squats are probably the hardest barbell lift. Because not only is it close to the heaviest behind the deadlift, depending upon your leverages. All right? But the bar's on top of you. That's a different ballgame than deadlift. Omi, do you talk to your paying clients this way? You damn right I do. You want me to give you a direct quote? One of my paying clients paying me money. And you say, Coach, I'm having this girl problem. I got this situation. This situationship. I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude. You're not in love with her. Bro, that's lust, not love. What are you talking about? Bull, I'm going to call you on your bullshit. But if I have a client who tells me they're too scared to talk to girls, then I don't need to coach them because they're too much of a pussy to lift weights. Like, I mean, if a guy is too much of a pussy to go talk to girls, how in the fuck are you going to get them under a squat bar? That empty barbell has to scare the holy shit out of them. That's got to be the most terrifying thing they've ever seen. It's got coarse knurling on it. It's going to be on top of their back. Oh, hell no. Got teeth in it. So if they're that pathetic, you're not going to get them in the weight room. Like, you're not going to get them under a squat bar. I mean, good Lord. So how can you coach them? I mean, that same guy's got to see that movie Teeth and be scared of women for life. It's got teeth in it. Oh, this is Jason. And so this is how I am when I'm with my bros, by the way. This is the Jason that used to. All right, you guys got me uncensored today. Let's get over and ask a couple more. You guys actually got the real Jason for a change. I'm so filtered normally for you guys because of the terms of service on here. Oh, TKS, do you find that leg raises you do actually hits your chest muscles? What? I guess like if your knees actually pop you in the chest or something on the way up, it might. Chris says, I try to watch Greg from time to time. He covers interesting content, but damn, he's a snake oil salesman at his finest. At least see Greg admits to gear use the damn line and other ways. But does he really admit his gear use? He said, I just on PRT now, guys. Right? He's not like me with those natural non-primo veins. Right? Not primo bowling. Marcelo Force said, would you mention me on one of your shorts if you did a 315 over press? No, probably not. Sorry, bro. Peppermint, this is the best, Jason. Yeah. How was your weekend, Jason? My weekend was amazing, actually. Phil says more uncensored. Chris says, hello, Greg, impression. First of all, you need to quit laughing at me. I'm Greg Doucette. IFBB Pro. World record holder, bench holder, still on a Turkestone. I'm a Turkestone. You get to buy my next Maserati. All right. Jeff said, coach's advice is best for natural lifters. Previous coach's gains, and his advice has gotten me gains. Yeah. The funny thing is, some of my actual most jacked clients that get accused of using gear are natural. I mean, a perfect example, like Justin, when I put Justin, some people are like, that guy is shredded. That guy looked like he's busting out a granite with a 520 squat. He's legitimately natural, and I've coached him for 5 years. He's like natty, like not TRT natty, not YouTube natty. He is like natty. Like maybe has a protein shake every now and then, natty. What made you grow back the beard? Any plans to shave it off? My personal life. So, and I'm going to leave it at that. I grew my beard back specifically for personal life reasons, in no way related to my content. All right. Coach, that video you made a few years ago saying you slapped Greg. Oh, no, dude, I'm not going to slap Greg. That's not right. That's not Christian-like of me. Can't be slapping people, slapping the Turkestone out of somebody's mouth just because they're trying to sell it. It's not like he really takes the Turkestone. I really wouldn't be slapping the Turkestone out of his mouth. He doesn't actually use it. It's not injectable, you know. I've been pinning this Turkestone in my glutes, guys. 3 cc's. What's the longest you've grown your beard? About to chow. On my channel with footage and pictures up. Right now. Is the beard off topic? The reason for the beard would be in theory off topic. The beard itself is right here in the forefront of my screen. So it's kind of hard to make it off topic. Jason, how much have affirmations helped you? Dude, I have a whole vision board. Bob, do you have pictures of your long beard? I have video footage of me with the long beard on this channel. How did it affect my psoriasis? Horrifically. horrifically bad. I put up with it because I wanted the beard so bad that I dealt with it. But it got to a point it was simply not worth it to have that long beard. It's all balance, give and take. What are you willing to put up with? What side effects are you willing to put up with for what gains? In the case of that, the beard gains. Oh my God, bag push is great. Says barbells don't have much carryover to the real world. Now sandbags actually do. Jason thinks sandbag lifting only for GPP. No big deals. Real world, functional strength. Look, put a 500-pound barbell on your back and squat it and come back and tell me you don't have functional strength. I want you to think about what you just wrote. I would expect more than that from Swag Puss. You need to change your name. You're disrespecting Swag Puss, typing some ridiculous stuff like that with his name on it. Rude. Bag Puss is sitting in the closet of my master bedroom. All right. And I'm dead serious. Yeah, I still have the Bag Puss from the UK. I brought him across. He is sitting in storage up there on the shelf next to a pair of my boots. Chris said Greg actually got off Turk, Trent, and helium. I don't think he got off the helium. I don't know about that. I don't have helium anymore. In the past. All right, guys. We're 56 minutes in. You guys remember to follow me on Facebook. Get rid of this thing. Peppermint Coach, do you like anime? No, I have actually touched a vagina before, therefore I don't like anime. So let's go ahead and wind this down. Hope it's been informative. Give you guys a forearm shot before we go. See the veins one more time. And I'll talk to you next time.